I'm feeling rude, I'm feeling hot. I want to run. The feeling exciting. So darling, let's do something. I wanna rub my body on your body. Body on your body. Let me rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. I wanna rub and love up. I wanna rub and kiss up. I wanna rub and jam up. I wanna rub and rub up. I wanna rub my body on your body. Rub my body on your body. Let me rub my body. Your body. I just get paid. I want to play. The vibes is right. I wanna hook up tight. No time to waste. I wanna work my waist. So coming on face. Give me a taste. I wanna rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. Let me rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. I wanna rub and love up. I wanna rub and kiss up. I wanna rub and jam up. I wanna rub and rub up. I wanna rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. Let me rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. Well, no. I'm feeling, 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 I'm feeling. Smoking my brain, I want to do my thing. Work up a sweat until I soaking wet. Rub your body, show no mercy. Because I'm feeling tipsy, I'm feeling freaky. I wanna rub my body on your body. I wanna rub my body on your body. I wanna rub and love up. I wanna rub and kiss up. I wanna rub and jam up. I wanna rub and rub up. I wanna rub my body on your body. Rub my body on your body. Let me rub my body. Your body. I just get paid. I want to play. The vibes is right. I wanna hook up tight. No time to waste. I wanna work
Hey fans, it's karaoke and oldies night this and every Thursday at Club Twilight Sideline Dam, Buxton. Dance to the magical songs of yesteryear by popular DJs and Camps Audio. Admission is free. Come out, let's make memories at Club Twilight Sideline Dam, Buxton North.
All right. Hey, good night. It's 10 minutes after 9 o'clock. Wherever you are in Guyana, outside of Guyana, let me say hi to all of the foot soldiers, so to speak, those who are on the ground making a difference. I know there are a few who are on the ground making a difference. Hats off to those individuals. And for those who bumps are raising, it's political silly seasons, right? Silly season right now. Lots of bumps are raising all over the place. Be careful, guys. Bumps are raising. Lots of bumps are raising. Look, the Guyana Trades Union Congress, they have a protest, and this is they are joining. They are joining with the Guyana Teachers Union in a picketing exercise for teachers' cause. And you know, anything for the teachers. Nothing is wrong with protesting. And I repeat, nothing is wrong with protesting. There's nothing diplomatic about that. Absolutely nothing. Nothing is wrong with protesting. And so, guys, go out in your numbers, whether it's in front of GCOM, join with folks like Rhonda Lane and others. Join with them, not just once in a blue moon. Rhonda Lane, as we say on the quarantine, Rhonda Lane is consistent, and that is what we like in a struggle. This is not about bumps raising and people getting all emotional and whatever. With politics, that is what it is. And I know somebody is out in there listening in the audience and say, I feel Mark is showing a shade at me, right? And no, it is politics. Bumps will raise, but you've got to be consistent. Rhonda Lane, salute. If Rhonda Lane is not here, call her, tell her that we are calling her name right now on 107.1 FM. Rhonda Lee, I salute her. Now, and I salute those of you who are in the struggle, and understand the struggle. Being in the struggle and understanding the struggle are two different things. There are people who can be in a struggle and not understand the struggle. And there are some people who are in the struggle and understand the struggle. I'll break it down there. Rhonda Lane, how are you doing? Good to see you. I want to talk with Rhonda Lane about the protest in front of GCOM today. I saw some photographs, but I don't know if Rhonda Lane wasn't there or she just wasn't in the photographs that I saw. But what I do know is Rhonda Lane is always there on the ground. Hats off. And I say to people, whenever they're going to Guyana or whatever, just find out where Rhonda Lane is. Bless her up with the prayers, with something. Just bless her up. Bless her up. See, she's a little under the weather. I know I've been paying attention to Rhonda. She's a little bit under the weather. Rhonda, let's wish you a speedy recovery, my friend. A speedy recovery. You are a soldier. Now, let us get to Thursday. Thursday's protest, 11 o'clock. We will be carrying it right here on 107.1 FM. I do believe it's 11 o'clock right here, Thursday, on 107.1 FM. The teachers, along the Guyana Teachers Union, along with the Guyana Trades Union Congress, they will be out in front of the Ministry of Education on breakdown. You cannot miss it, guys. You just cannot miss it. And now look, what's the other hot issue that's going around? And I saw this post from Janelle Christian. I'm not sure if Janelle Christian is watching us tonight, but if you are, Janelle, good night to you. Janelle is saying here, and a professional African Guyanese woman, professional. Janelle is saying, do not call me Negro. And all of you in the audience should be saying the same thing. Do not call me Negro. Times have changed, and call Anil or tag Anil and tell him that we're on right now. And let these guys know that times have changed. Do not call me Negro. Do not call persons of African descent now Negroes. Now, if the guys in the PPP, like a Mark Phillips and these guys, if they are comfortable being described as Negroes, it's okay. That's them. But we do not want to be described as Negroes. How many of you want to be described as Negroes? Let us see your comment there in the section. Or whether you think Negro is in 2024 acceptable. Claude Biram is saying that I'm an African Guyanese. Nothing's wrong with being proud of who you are. Others are proud of who they are. So why can't you guys? Why can't we as a people be proud of who we are? And be proud enough to say, I am a proud African Guyanese or African American, African Guyanese. We must respect that. So don't let anybody tell you that Negro, oh, Negro. They're packaging it and they're giving it to us and say that we ought to accept it. And so, Negro. You know, times have changed. Don't tell me back in the days and the civil rights struggle and so forth and so on. Negro is unacceptable in 2024. Jamal Aziz, thank you so much. And Lachman and Jamal and so forth. Good night to all of you. Mark is saying, I don't know, no, it's not me. It's another Mark. He's right there, is saying he's a proud color, man of color. All right, man of color. Proud African Guyanese. So if these guys in the PPP, Mark Phillips is comfortable being described as a Negro, good, fine with him. If Robeson Ben is being comfortable described as a Negro, fine. Let them be described and let them describe themselves as Negro. But majority of Guyanese of African descent are saying no to it. Story done. No to it. And so Sunday last, there was a panel discussion hosted by Enrico Wolford, veteran journalist. And the panelists there include the panelists were Norris Witter, veteran trade unionist, Miss Olive Sampson from Ipadagy, CEO of Ipadagy, and she has a wealth of experience, a former Foreign Service officer in the United States Department, and they were attorneys at law, Nigel Hughes and Miss Jeffords. All of them were there along with former Assistant Commissioner of Police, Paul Slow. They were there talking about the issue. And a job well done by the panelists. Well done. All of them were right on target. All of them disagreed with the labeling of African Guyanese suspects when they are arrested by the police to be called Negroes. Now, this Friday at Critchlow Labor College at 5 o'clock, starting at 5 o'clock, at Critchlow Labor College Auditorium. Critchlow Labor College, this Friday. You guys, if you're in Georgetown or wherever you are, you've got to go out in your numbers right there at Critchlow Labor College. There will be a public meeting on the same subject of moving forward and removing that word Negro that the police oftentimes describe. They describe persons of African descent. There will be a public meeting. At that public meeting, it will be right at Crystal Labor College, sorry. Nigel Hughes is going to be there. Guess who else is going to be there at that meeting speaking? Let me see if you guys recognize this person. I tell you guys that she's becoming a politician. She's there. She's becoming a civil rights leader, a civil rights activist. Former Commissioner of Police, Winston Felix, will be there too. Olive Sampson, CEO of Ipadagy, will be there. Dr. David Hines will be there. And there are two other persons, forgive me for now, but Ms. Vashti is going to be there. All of these folks will be there. And all of you are invited. Rhonda Lane, you are invited. Rhonda Lane, you are invited. Take the entire that I'm still with you. This Friday, guys, at Crystal Labor College, starting at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock sharp. Not sharp, sharp. Somebody just told me sharp. They will be there 5 o'clock sharp. What else is happening in your neck of the woods that you want us to chew on this evening, politically speaking? Chew on this evening. Take a bite at something else. I'm sorry. No pun intended on that. But we're hearing news that this guy, Joe Hamilton, is saying it wasn't he. I don't know what is it that he's saying it wasn't he. I don't know. I really don't know what exactly he is offering a disclaimer that he is not. It wasn't he. I don't know. I have nothing to comment about. I'm not going to chew on any plantain chips. I don't know what's going on, but he says it wasn't he, and that's it. So he is saying he wasn't he. I don't know for what explanation, who said what. I don't know. But good night to all of you. If you know, you know, as they say in Guyana. If you know, you know. What else is happening? We want to go to Berbice. The billions of dollars that they have, and they're refurbishing of police stations, and they're building brand new, spanking new police stations, and all manner of things they're doing, right? All manner of things that they're doing with your money. They're wasting your money. But let me just say that the Guyana Police Force has a new commissioner of police. And for the first time, you're going to get to see that. You're not going to hear from that new commissioner of police. I am almost certain that this commissioner of police will do far better than the one that is acting there right now. How many of you already know the new commissioner of police? How many of you? It's time to get you guys involved, right? How many of you know the new commissioner of police? If you know the new commissioner of police by name, if you haven't heard of it, here it is. Somebody, Beatrice Selby, is asking, is who now? The new commissioner of police went around the country inspecting the police stations all around the country. It seems as though the new commissioner of police has started off on the right track. With billions of dollars, I have my faith, I have confidence, and I want you guys to hear this out right here on 107.1 FM. I have confidence in the new commissioner of police. I don't want you guys come barking at me, chewing off my head or whatever. I am telling you guys, I have confidence in the new commissioner of police. We'll be right back. I want you to listen to Auntie Data before we go and introduce the new commissioner of police of the Guyana Police Force. We'll be right back.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my X next to the cop. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data. But let us also remind you guys as what's happening in the country. People are starving. Left, right, and center, they are starving. Forget about the fact that the corrupt, racist PPP regime is around and they're handing out house lots and something they haven't done for 23 years, right? They punished people for the 23 years. But before we go to the new commissioner of police, and let me look and see if you guys have been following the police force over the years and understand how the PPP operates and who they will replace Hicken with. Who? We have that person. But before we get to that person and introduce that individual to you, let's take another break.
Oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
All right, welcome back. It's 25 minutes after 9 o'clock in beautiful Guyana, broadcasting live and direct, whether you are in Guyana, you're in wherever, Berbice, you're in Linden. And let me say a special good night to the people in Linden and other places across Guyana who are currently experiencing that flood. Now, we know flooding is not something that governments create. We know that. But what we do know also is that if you are prepared and you can ensure that you prevent flood waters from going into people's areas and so forth, that can be prevented by any government, any responsible government. Unfortunately, these vagabonds who are in office, the PPP, and you find they're crying every day. Every day they're crying and excuses upon excuses, but they are responsible. It's something that's called contributory negligence. And they'll cry out and say, some of their supporters would say, oh, no, can the government control flooding? They can't control the rains, but they can be prepared to ensure that people's areas aren't flooded. And so the PPP regime, they're responsible for what's happening right now in Linden and other parts of Guyana where people are experiencing floods. But what is interesting, and I guess by now you guys already picked that up, that the PPP doesn't give a rat's you know what about people. And look at what they have done to the people of Linden. They have turned their backs on the people of Linden. Turn their backs on the people on Linden. They don't give a rat's you know what. They're not even licking. Sorry. They're not even clicking in the direction of the people of Linden. And let me withdraw that, what Lemon did. They're not even clicking, because Joe Hamilton is said to be from Linden or some are relatives in Linden. I don't know. But Lemon, please behave yourself. All right. So you guys want to know the next commissioner of police. I've been watching some of your comments and giving some names and so forth and so on. Some of you are a little far off. Some of you might be right, but take this opportunity right here on 107.1 FM to let you guys know that up close and personal, you get to see the next commissioner of police of the Guyana Police Force. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't say you don't see. There it is. Any day, I bet you guys any day, that this new commissioner of police, Bow Wow, is right there at the Albion Police Station, will do a better job, a far better job than Clifton Hicken. Nobody knows what Clifton Hicken is doing, but certainly he will do a far better job, right, Ann John, a far better job. Come on, guys. You guys are laughing. The new commissioner of police. Is that what this program has turned to now? A skin teeth? When we are being serious by introducing the new commissioner of police who has taken over from Clifton Hicken? Come on. It's the PPP. What do you guys expect? Do you guys expect anything better? That there it is, a police station. Now, I have no problem. I have nothing against dogs, right? Absolutely nothing against dogs. And it is a fact. And I just want to reiterate that I have absolutely nothing against dogs. Nothing against dogs. Absolutely nothing against dogs. I wish to repeat, I have nothing against dogs, right? Nothing against dogs. But when you take a look at this photograph, what exactly is going through your minds right now? This is Albion Police Station that was almost burnt down by PPP supporters in 2001. Almost burnt this police station down. Burnt it down, almost. Beat policemen, beat magistrate, beat up Gadraj. At that time, Gadraj was the Minister of Home Affairs. Minister of Home Affairs. Look at this. Apart from that, who put that dog there? I don't mind the police. Anyways, guys, a little bit of humor there, because this, in essence, is, for the most part, the leadership of the Guyana Police Force. And I want to make this point really, really clear. I'm not painting all senior ranks of the Guyana Police Force with the same brush. I'm not doing that at all. But I'm saying a lot of them who are taking illegal orders, right, William Bill Cato? A lot of those senior policemen and some women who are taking, Fazina Bacchus, as you listen carefully, good night, good to see you, who are taking illegal orders, Alison Bennett. Those senior police, I rather put my trust and confidence, Carlton Popo Anthony, I rather put my trust in this dog, right there, that dog right there, than to put my trust in the others, the few others who are taking political orders. Shame on them who are taking political orders. And now let's get back to this Negro thing. How many of you want us to get back to this Negro thing? Let's get back to the Negro. Can our operator put the Negro issue back on the page? Come on. Lemon has to be, we're going to fight. We say put the Negro issue. We didn't say put the Negro. Put the Negro issue. Now, let us get back to the Negro issue. Just for a moment. Just for a moment. If you had proper leadership of the Guyana Police Force, the issue of describing suspects as male Negroes, MN, sounds like Minnesota, or FN, female Negroes, if the leadership of the Guyana Police Force, if they were serious, those members were serious about correcting this situation, they would have issued a press release with immediate effect saying to members of the public, from this day forward, we will no longer be describing Guyanese of African descent suspects as Negroes. Simple as that. But the fact that they have not done that, it simply means that they have to wait for orders from Irfan Ali or from Anil Nandalal. Well, if they got to wait for orders from those guys, they will be waiting for a long, long time, guys. A long, long time. So can the operator please take the Negro and the African Guyanese off, please? Good. Now, speaking of Anil, tonight's program, Anil said that when they took over In other words, when they were installed in 2020, August 2nd, that they got a bankrupt country. Now, I don't know what Anil is talking about, but he seems to have the tendency of straying from the truth. Miss Vashti had to put him in his place last evening by correcting him or exposing him in terms of lying on her. And so tonight, Anil Nandalal said that when the PPP took over in 2020, August 2nd, they got a bankrupt country. I almost eat plantain chips. Seriously, I almost eat plantain chips. I almost ate plantain chips. If you know, you know. And so the where these guys will go just to lie, just to brainwash the public in so many ways. Now, who? That is why we're saying the opposition got to be stronger. And when you say the opposition got to be stronger, some people, their bombs raised and all manner of things. All manner of things. Because when these PPP pakus, when they lie, you've got to have what is called an immediate response. It's called rapid response to expose these folks and their lies. You've got to be able to do that. You cannot just sit by and ignore their lies and say, that's all right. No, you cannot. Somebody in the coalition, instead of all of them who fighting, who down, man, sometimes, you get a bottle of Advil and you just got to drink an Advil. The fighting is way too much. Way too much. Way too much. I don't know. But the fighting is just way too much. At some point in time, it's going to subside. I don't know when. I just don't know when. But instead of these guys focusing on all sides, whether they're pro-Aubrey, anti-Aubrey, whatever, whoever they are, at some point in time, they got to stop this nonsense. They got to come to some compromise. And they got to fight the real enemy or political enemies. Those are the ones they have to fight. Not each other. Not each other. But it looks as though this thing is getting worse. This fighting, and it's just getting worse. On all sides, it's just getting worse. And sometimes you listen to some of them and you think it's like Jim Jones come all right back again. And all sort of nonsense. It is not good. It is just not good at all. Now, what else? And I hope they do get their act together. But when Anil made that statement, Anil said that the PPP got a bankrupt country. Bankrupt country. Somebody in the coalition, the opposition, I don't know who the finance, the shadow minister of finance. I don't know who that person is. But that person should have already responded right away and show the evidence to expose Anil Nandalal as lying when he said that in 2020 they got a bankrupt country. A bankrupt country they got. I don't know. I just don't know. I wish I could call the former finance minister. What's his name again? The former finance minister. Can you guys help me out? I oftentimes say that to see if you guys are on track. The former finance minister. Former finance minister. What's his name? Help me out, please. Former finance minister. And this is what I don't think Ms. Doretta is still the shadow minister of finance. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. But these folks need to respond. Right now, Mr. Winston Jordan, thank you guys. Thank you. I knew, but I just wanted to involve you guys. Jordan, I'll change up the spelling of the man's name and all kind of thing. All manner of things. Yep, yep. Wayne Caesar is here. Good night, Mr. Caesar. Let me just take this opportunity to say Wayne Caesar went to a graduation the other day. You know, Wayne is a family man. He went to a graduation of one of his kids the other day. Congratulations again, Wayne. And I said to him, I said, Wayne, your child is brighter than 3/4 of the members of the cabinet, the PPPC's cabinet. So welcome, Wayne. And again, congratulations to your child on the graduation. Now, let's take a quick break, please, guys.
Thank you so much for that. But if I could have a point of privilege, this is a family dialogue. If one person wants to talk longer, I am available to listen. So we're going to do this like we're sitting in the kitchen. I want to hear from you. I want to know the challenges. And so I'm not here representing your government. I'm here as a representative from my district of the 1st District of Illinois, and I want to hear from you. And I hope you would be as candid as you can. Some people are going to take longer because they have more to say, and I appreciate that. So in that spirit, I thank you.
Yeah, my name is Jasmine Caldata Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my ex next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore in the morning. If they have to lose by 1 vote, they're losing it by data. I have none.
Oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
Sorry about that, guys. I know I left you guys, but I tried to get in touch with the former Minister of Finance, and I finally got him. He's on the phone with us. Mr. Jordan, good night to you, sir.
Good night, Mark. Good night. How you doing?
Not too bad, thank you. And thank you so much for taking the call. Anil Nandalal said that when they took over in 2020, August 2nd, the country was bankrupt. Treasury, nothing was inside. Explain to us, please, sir.
Well, did he actually? Thank you for giving me the opportunity. That is Machiavellian. Well, it's not Machiavellian, but what was that guy? That Hitlerite guy who a Gobellion. It's a Gobellion statement.
Gobellion. That's the one of Hitler's
PR. Yes, Hitler's Goebbels. It is one of those propaganda statements, right? Another is 200 taxes. Another is 7,000 workers dismissed, Gaisuko workers dismissed. These are Gobellion statements which are intended to be repeated over and over, but bear no substance nor truth. None other than Ashley Singh, when asked this question, how much was the overdraft? Because if a Treasury is bankrupt, then it's obviously an overdraft. How much was the overdraft that they met when they came into power in August the 2nd of 2020? And his answers, which can be checked from the Hansard, he said that it was 73 billion or somewhere around that figure. I don't have the, you called me at the time when I couldn't get an opportunity to go on. So, but that it was roughly $73 billion that had accumulated over 5 years. He admitted that by the end of December of 2020, the overdraft had exceeded $100 billion. So we had accumulated an overdraft over 5 years, 73 billion. And in the space of 3 months, they had added an additional 27 to 30 billion dollars in 3 months. And by the time he monetized the overdraft around May or June of 2021, it had reached $200 billion. And those are figures and facts that can be checked anywhere.
So you guys are hearing it for yourselves. So whatever Anil says, you guys got to use a strainer with it. He did say on his program earlier that the APNU AFC coalition government left the country bankrupt.
And while I'm on, Mark, when asked in Parliament to identify and list the 200 taxes, which all of them seem to be mantra-like, right? Seem to repeat. Ramatar, Jagdeo, Rohi, you name them, 200 taxes. When asked to identify and list the 200 taxes in Parliament, Ashley Singh's response was, they're already in the public domain. That was his response. And I have that also from the Hansard. That was his response.
What is your take?
He could not list 200. He could not list these 200 taxes. All he could say is that it was in the public domain. That's all.
What's going on with this $1 trillion budget? I know I just wanted you to clarify the statement by Anil, but what's going on with the $1 trillion budget? Are you seeing improvement there in the country?
But are you seeing even the road, even the highway they just built start cracking up? Even the highway now is a death highway. Heroes Highway is a death highway whenever it rains. The water is settling on the road, large puddles of water. And when you're driving your hydroplaning, it becomes a dangerous stretch of road when you think. And now you can see they're already patching potholes on the road. That is where our money is going. It's going into a deep, dark hole. And this is infrastructure that just gone in and should give you at least 3 to 5 years before you do any substantial maintenance. You should just be doing regular maintenance, pruning the grass and so on before you meet substantial. But the road is you already. What's a waste of money? You don't see any plan. They tell you what they had national development strategy. They tell you what they had national development. They did not have a national development strategy. Their own people in Parliament, when the national development strategy was taken to Parliament and debated for it to become a national document indeed, where both sides could recognize it and agree to it, all the government members of the day voted against their own development strategy. It's there in the Hansard. Their own, and they're coming back hollering, but they had national development strategy. How do you have a strategy that you have voted against? It doesn't exist.
You know, I want to quickly just have you listen to what he said earlier on his show. And again, forgive me, you know, I'm in the habit of saying 2 minutes. But this is important. This is what Anil said. Please, if you take a listen.
The Ministry of Health is what? 140 billion. Ministry of Education, 138 billion. Infrastructure, 160 billion. Agriculture, about 100 billion. Two of those ministries, if you look at the budgetary allocation of two of those ministries, that would have used up all the revenue that we took from the natural resource fund and put in the consolidated fund and withdrew. Just two budgets, two ministries' budgets. But look at the other things that we're doing in every single sector. Every day, well, not every day, but almost once a month, I'm going out to open some court across or some office in the legal sector. Yesterday, I did the Wales Children Court, a children's court at Wales. The day before, I opened the DPP office and residential quarters in Essequibo. The following week, I'm going back to Essequibo to open a deeds and commercial registry brand new building at Suddy. Suddy in the Essequibo coast. And I can go on and on to show you. So without any vanity and without blowing our own trumpet, I think Guyana, our government has done exceedingly well in what we have achieved in the oil and gas sector in 4 short years. People don't understand that. You got to look at the before and you got to look at what we have achieved and the time that we have taken to achieve it. Give us 20 more years in this sector and you will see what will happen. If we have been able to achieve so much in just 4 years. Half of the 4 years, we had the challenge of operating in an environment hit by the worst public health pandemic in living human history and memory. People don't understand that. 2 of the 4 years, we had to deal with COVID. And we inherited a bankrupt treasury, as you know. But that is a story for another time.
Okay, so that's the part we were looking for. We got it. Mr. Jordan, take over, please.
Well, I don't know what is there to take over. I could say Mr. Nanlal is out of his depth when it comes to financial and economic analysis. I mean, what exactly is he trying to say? That he has the same, more or less the same sum of money that the APNU had in the 5 years, and with that sum of money, he was able to do all the dramatic things that he's talking about. Any government with a massive intake of money that they have got from the oil, any government could have achieved at a minimum what he's talking about there. A better government would have achieved even more. Building a magistrate court here and a magistrate court there and so on. What does that tell you? Is that a way to measure progress? You have to measure progress by a set of indicators that you set out. If you had a million backlog of cases, that as a result, over the last 5 years, we have moved that backlog from 1 million to maybe 800 or 600. And by the end of 2025, we'll move to so on. That's how you measure progress. You don't measure progress by the fact that you have built 100 schools and 200 magistrate courts and so on. And you don't know whether you have gone backward or forward or the case have done worse. I love to hear them say how many cars are on the road and how many families own 10 cars and 12 cars. And ask yourself the question, have we gone forward or backwards? Look how long it takes you to move from, say, Diamond to Georgetown. Look how long it takes you versus 5 years ago when you could have moved comfortably from Diamond to Georgetown. So progress is not measured just by the fact that you have added 10,000 more cars in a month annually or annually and so on. It's measured by whether you have made progress. progress.
And
So what he's talking there, well, what he's talking there is the typical, I don't want to use certain word, but let's not, right, is deficient in economic and financial analysis, but he's pretty good as a politician, taking something at its face value and throwing it at his supporters. But if I had $1 trillion annually, if we had $1 trillion annually in our 4 years, we will have made even more progress that we made with the little that we had. Even more progress we would have made than the little that we have. And by the way,
it's not surprising. It's not surprising that he's. Go ahead. Make your point, please.
Mark,
go ahead, sir.
And the progress that we made can be measured, all the budgets and so on we produce. It can be measured in terms of what we reduce, what we added, what we lengthened, and so on. You heard the other day how our life expectancy has gone up. And let us say that is true. But how much did it take to move our life expectancy by 0.something of a year? And is that comparable to world situation and so on? Is that the fact that you moved from 64.1 years now to 65 years? That is good. But at what cost are we doing it at? And so on. In other words, then, when you spend, it must have some impact. And that impact must be able to be measured against the targets that you set out. They're not telling you what targets they set out. They're not telling you what targets. So show me a plan, for example, in his area of the magistrate courts that will be added, about the justice system that will be improved, about the fact that you now got nine judges on the appeal court, and how many more judges in the thing, and what will be the impact? What is your identified impact of these different inputs that you are doing? Don't just shout out that we added 9 more judges and so on, and 4 or 5 years from now, the situation hasn't improved.
And it's only today they have the opening of the Demerara Assizes, and they have almost 260 cases with just a handful of judges. And the majority of those cases will go right back in. Those folks will remain in prison, most of them, but yet Anil is saying, oh, he opened magistrates court, DPP, all manner of things. I don't know. Did you? Go ahead.
That is my point, Mark. That is my point. So I don't tend to go and rebut those things. I mean, in fact, I stayed away from that scene. I leave that to the people who are serving politicians and so on. I tend to do things that are more, more explainable to people in the byways and so on. As they meet me and so on, we'll have a little discussion. So I leave that for the politicians. So I'm thinking he's doing a good job of propagandizing this stuff.
It's not working,
right?
Miss Vashti lashed him down last evening with his propaganda, and you tonight is reminding us and giving us proper figures, sensible figures. So obviously he's not doing good as a propagandist. It's not working.
Thomas Singh from the University of Guyana did the study, the ILO study on the impact of closure of sugar estates under the coalition government. And right there in the study, which I believe has been produced in the National Assembly, it shows you the correct figures of those who were retrenched or whatever the case may be. 4,800 and something, and then subsequently some more had left at Wales, because at the time Wales were saying they didn't want to go to IFLOT and so on. So when you add in the figure, it's a touch over 5,000. You will never hear them quote the figure. Although it's a document that is in the parliament, although it's an international document that was done, not a PNC document, an international ILO document was done. But they will come every day and tell you 7,000 workers were sent out. Without fail, they will say 7,000 workers are sent out.
Are you,
Shameless set of people.
of course, are you surprised that they're lying to the people on the quarantine with the skeleton estate?
Well, that is par for the course. Why you think they continue to open back the sugar estates and so on? Why? Why you think they continue to open back the sugar estates? Because it's a captive set of people you have. And once you keep people captive and dependent, when they depend on you for the sustenance, the thing that your God-given brain that allows you to check all the options and so on, it goes to sleep. It goes to sleep.
You know,
it's only when you are faced with a situation where that easy money and so on is cut off, is then you like fish out the water. You don't know what to do, because that part of the brain that should think on the pressure and so on when circumstance situation come, you allow it to relax or lapse, because you have a government who sees this as a captive set of votes and will do anything to keep it as such.
Anything to keep it, because look, I just want to thank you so much. I call you for a quick minute, and here it is. We are. You read that there are some Cuban engineers in Guyana who now Gaisuco need to hire interpreters now. Your take on that before we go? The waste of money.
Mark, let me go to bed, because some of these things, my throat already started. That's why I don't do these programs anymore, because I have some throat problems. But we can go on and on and on. I mean, look, haven't they learned? They brought the Cubans coming to Ghana and working with the government. This is not the first time. There's been gone back since the 70s when we established relationship with Cuba, when they sent doctors here, and particularly doctors. And most of them weren't bilingual. In fact, even the doctors that they have at Johnson Hospital, many of them aren't bilingual, and they have the interpreters there, to help out the situation. So why would it be any different in the sugar industry when you bring in these people?
Certainly not. But thank you so much. I don't want you to get blocked out, because they brought a ship there, and people are still experiencing constant blockouts daily. Speaking of blockouts, I'm not sure. Do we still have the former minister with us? Apparently not, but we just want to thank Mr. Winston Jordan, a man who should be coming into over $300 million. $300 million, because as you know, he sued the state for wrongful arrest. Wrongful arrest. He has sued the state. So we got to be nice to Mr. Winston Jordan. You never know. We got to be nice. A lot of persecution happening in Guyana. And at some point in time, I repeat, at some point in time, it has got to stop. It has got to stop. And I see some of your comments. Lots and lots of blackouts. Blackouts galore in Guyana. Blackouts galore. I don't know. Someone is asking if the new commissioner of police is Negro. Someone is just asking on a point of privilege. On a point of privilege, is the new commissioner a Negro? We've got to get rid of that and read my lips when I say get rid of, because these days Jack Day and the bumps raise when they hear certain words. But we got to get rid of that word Negro. By every means necessary, we have to get rid of that word Negro. This Friday at Critchlow Labour College, 5 o'clock, starting at 5 o'clock, there's a public meeting on the issue, on the police force removing that description of African Guyanese suspects as Negroes. So 5 o'clock this Friday at Critchlow Labour College. You can't miss it. And on Thursday, you guys got to join the GTUC and the Guyana Teachers Union in a picketing exercise for teachers' cause. You've got to be there this Thursday at 11 a.m., 11 o'clock in the morning. We will carry it. We will cover it live right here on 107.1 FM. All right, before we go though, the city council, the city council, the PPP councillors, they're saying that the budget, 2024 budget, is a travesty. Oh, it's a travesty. But they're not telling you that the budget, the $1 trillion budget, is a disaster, because Guyanese are not getting anything out of that. So these Pakus at the city council representing the PPP that is saying they have starved the city of hundreds of millions of dollars because they want to punish the people of Georgetown. That is what the PPP is doing. Now, they have some Pakus who are part of the PPP councillor, talking all manner of crap. There's a cricketer, some Jacobs or whatever. I don't know what he played, because I stopped watching cricket since in the early 1900s. I stopped watching cricket with Vivian Richards and Richie Richardson and Gus Logie and those guys. I'm just naming so that y'all could know that I'm calling some real cricketers' names. Not like some of the Pakus they have today, right? But there is this guy, some Stephen Jacobs. I don't even know who he is, other than I heard that he's some cricketer, former cricketer. He is saying here, and he said this on his page earlier today, and I quote, as a PPPC councillor, he is very happy to have played a role in the reinstatement of the Kitty-based Northern Rangers, blah, blah, blah. And this is what these guys jump up, and that is what they call success, a success story, a bunch of Pakus. And so this guy here now, who claims, he says he's a councillor, he's saying that the city's budget is a travesty. But I wish to add, so this guy, whoever he is, don't know who he is, the Artemas or whatever, let him know that the national budget is a disaster, a major disaster. And now, what else before we go? Okay, so take a look at this. 400 residents of Timeri, Swan, Turn, Kurukuru, and Long Creek receive land leases and all manner of things. All manner of things. This is what 20, almost 30 years they denied these people. 30 plus years they denied these people. But because they want to score cheap political points to do what they should have done over 20-something years ago, they're now doing it. And they believe that it's a favor they're doing to the people. But look, the same area, almost the same area, the same Irfan Ali received his land title lease years ago when he was Minister of Housing. This is what he got. But they have deprived the people all of this for almost 30 years. But suddenly, because they know that their backs are against the wall and that people do not want them back in office, and they are not going to return to office, hopefully the opposition will get their darn act together, mind you. Mind you. Because if they don't get their act together, and I really do mean it, if the opposition, if they do not get their act together, cat will eat. Cat will eat their dinner. They got to get their acts together. And now look, all these people in the Swan area, and I know that area, the Turn, Swan Turn, Kurukuru, and all the Long Creek area, all the PVP guys, them benefited acres upon hundreds of acres of land. But they go now and give these people a little small plot of land and say, look, we're giving you a tithe. These people have been living there. Most of them have been living there for quite a long time. The PVP neglected them, but suddenly they're playing catch up. Come, ayo, come. I be love ayo. Give me a major break. We can see what's happening there. We can see that they are attempting to score cheap political points. Cheap political points. All right, what else is there that we can discuss before we go? What else is there? I noticed someone is saying Uncle Joe. I don't know which Uncle Joe they're talking about. I'm not in the business of that. We do serious programs here. People can chum and yum on whatever they want to chum and yum, black pudding, cassava bread, sweet rice. It doesn't matter. Plantain chips. They can chew on whatever they want to chew on. We don't mind that sort of business here. We conduct serious business. I repeat, people can eat and chew and whatever they wish to, whatever. But let me say to you guys, Joe has denied that's not, he doesn't chew and eat like that. My name is Mark Benshap. I'm out of here. I'll be back tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here on 107.1 FM. Remember tomorrow morning to tune into Kadaki, Amsterdam. And then after that, you have David Hines' program. And then after David Hines, you have Sherrod Duncan. You've got to tune into these shows and other opposition, and I say opposition, the talk show host on Facebook who reveal and expose the corrupt PPP regime. I am out of here, guys. And I just want you guys to know that I'm getting out of here right now as I prepare to return tomorrow. I am going and have me a nice glass of wine. Nothing to eat with it. Just a simple glass of wine. Naughty Mark. No. Anyways, I'll be back tomorrow night, same place, same time. I'm out of here. Peggy, how you doing? Nadia, all of you, So True Hector, every single one, Rastaman, all of you guys. I wish I can call all of your names. But if any one of you listening right now, if you're celebrating your birth anniversary, happy birthday to you. If you're graduating, happy graduation. If you're celebrating a wedding anniversary, happy wedding anniversary. If you're celebrating any other anniversary, any other anniversary, happy anniversary to all of you. And if you lost someone, our condolences indeed to all of you. All of you. I'm out of here. Tata. So long. Have a good night, guys. And remember, the PPP has to go. And those in the opposition, y'all get y'all act together. Get y'all act together. That's all I wish to say. Get y'all act together. Bye-bye. Tata.
Yeah, my name is Justity Caldata Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my X next to the cup, and what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
Just back. I'm about to see me off with you. You know, so the shabba in the line about attitude dirty. Nasty liberty. Them bow.
Yeah, my name is Justity Caldata Francis E. Wakenham, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my ex next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore in the morning. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
Oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.